Donald Trump got on Truth Social on Tuesday after this Supreme Court ruling was handed down and celebrated the fact that the United States Supreme Court says that states can, of course, implement transgender athlete bans. But the way it's written actually makes it to where I think it's only transgender women can't participate in women's sports. I think it only goes that one direction. But either way, Donald Trump got on Truth Social and posted this. Big win! The United States Supreme Court just ruled against men playing in women's sports. Wow, that takes that ridiculous situation off the table. Can you imagine having so much hatred in your body for a group of people whose lives do not impact yours at all? In fact, many people may even go their entire life without seeing one of these people in person. Okay? Their life, the choices they've made about their own body do not in any way impact you, but you still hate them so much that you have forced the Supreme Court to issue this ass-backwards ruling that impacts what? 16 people in the United States? An entire Supreme Court ruling for a dozen or so people? Because that's all it is. This is not an epidemic. It's not a takeover of women's sports like they want you to believe. It's a couple people. And now those few people who have already been targeted and marginalized and gone through hell in their lives, now they're getting targeted with this Supreme Court ruling. That is so just insane and disgusting to me. The fact that the President of the United States is celebrating it is even more disgusting to me. But the only thing I can think of is what Donald Trump said at the end of his post celebrating this. That takes that ridiculous situation off the table. Deal. Off the table. No more right-wing talking points about the transgender community. It's off the table. Trump says, off the table. We don't get to talk about it anymore. I agree. You guys accomplished what you wanted. You made these people's lives a living hell. Now you've made it even worse. So back the fuck off. Stop talking about it. You won. It's over. Don't campaign on it. Don't go out there and put it in your idiotic TV ads. Shut the hell up and you move on with your life. I'm enraged right now. I guess you could say I have a pretty strong intolerance for intolerance. I don't think it's right, but most importantly, I don't think it's normal for you to give a damn about somebody else's lifestyle, about somebody else's bodily choices. The only time somebody else's lifestyle impacts you is when they say something like, my lifestyle is running up and stabbing people in the street. That's a lifestyle that I imagine probably could affect you, and you can be outraged at that lifestyle. But Republicans always told us, right, what you do behind closed doors is your business. That used to be their thing in the 80s, early 90s. That was Republicans, like, keep the government out of it. We need small government. Don't you worry what people are doing. What happened to those days, right? Keeping the government out of people's lives. Nope. Republicans, in spite of their talking points, are in fact the party of big government. They're the party of not just big government, Big Brother. And Big Brother isn't just looking at you. Big Brother wants to look at your genitals. I mean, we have Republicans across the country that have proposed some coming very close to passing, genital inspections as part of those anti-transgender athlete bills, right? They literally want an excuse to look at children's genitals just because we're just being safe, right? We want to make sure they aren't doing something bad, so lift it up and let me see here. Let me get my camera out real quick because, they're all perverts anyway. But this is not the most consequential ruling that was handed down. It is, however, without a question, the most disgusting Supreme Court ruling that was handed down from this particular cycle. I want to take a moment to tell you about a wonderful new book that is out, Be Like Trump by John Evans. And yes, I wrote the afterword for this book. Now, Be Like Trump is a wonderful little story that essentially puts things into a better perspective for Americans. Whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, it doesn't matter. This book takes real things Donald Trump has done and shows people what it would be like if Trump had done those horrible things to them personally. Would that change your opinion of him? And that is what a lot of MAGA does need to realize. This book is not an attack on Trump. It is putting his actions into a better perspective for the public. And it also does so in a humorous way, which I absolutely love. The book is available on Amazon. Of course, we will have a link in the description of our video, so follow that, check it out. It's available both in paperback and Kindle edition. This is a must-read for anyone who, one, may have forgotten some of the horrible things that Donald Trump has done over the years, and two, for anyone who thinks to themselves, yeah, he's done horrible things, but he's this far-off figure, and those things really don't affect me. Read the book, and then tell me after that if you don't think these things affect you.